the best part about being you, Fatboy?
I'm a curious person and I'm adventurous. I have decided to set no limits to my scope of thinking. I am painfully open-minded and I am painfully hungry for debate and discussion.
Yeah.
I almost revel in the sort of gladiatorial confrontational style of debate.
What's your happy place?
Like most people, my happy place is my bed. For sleeping.
I like the disclaimer. Meet your idol, who in this case is Elon Musk, is it? Or 10K US dollars.
10K US dollars.
Movie or book that has changed your perspective on life.
Well, believe it or not, the Bible.
Okay.
I'm not a religious person, but I do read religious scripture.
That was very unexpected. Men and women can't be friends. Why do you think so?
Well, because there's obviously sexual attraction, sexual dynamics. I mean, at this point, it's even a joke.
So today, I am so excited to be introducing my next guest. You may have heard him on the radio. He used to do the Sanyu breakfast, and by now, if you know who I'm talking about, you get it. But right now, he is the host of the Fatboy Show on RX Radio, award-winning radio presenter. Welcome to the show, Fatboy.
Thank you, Sabrina. Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
I'm quite honored to be here.
Yeah, I'm quite honored for you to be here.
Yeah?
And it's never that
But
serious.
I'm a huge fan of yours.
Okay, so you've been in the media for how long now?
My whole life, literally. But
Your whole
actually
life?
it'll be by this point maybe about 25 years.
How old were you when you started? Because if you're saying 25 years, and the way I'm looking at you right now, the math isn't computing in my head because you don't look like you've been in the industry for 25 years.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm an old man. I'm almost 50.
You're almost 50.
I'll be turning 50 next year.
But that means you started at around 20.
25.
Yeah.
I just finished university. I came back from India. I sat at home, couldn't get a job. I was listening to the radio one day. The guy who was on at night really sucked. And I'm like, if that guy can get a job being on the radio, certainly I can.
Yeah.
So the very next morning, I walked up to the top of Naguru Hill, where they were situated at the time, asked to speak to the manager. And at that time, interestingly, not too many people were interested in working on radio for some strange reason. At the time, a lot of the DJs that were on the air were mostly like club DJs,
Yeah.
discotheque DJs, you know, people like RS Elvis, Rasta Orb, Alex Download, that kind of people. So let's just say it wasn't considered a very high prestige occupation, and not many parents would have wanted their children to become DJs in polite society. But I didn't care. I went there. The opportunity was there. I did a voice test. They said I was good, at least good enough.
Yeah.
And then that started my journey.
And then the rest is history.
Yeah.
What did you do at uni?
I studied Bachelor of Commerce. I have a degree in BCom Accounts.
Did
Can't
you
believe that?
Did you ever see yourself like growing up? Did you ever see yourself getting into journalism?
Absolutely not.
What did you want to be?
Well, like any young boy, you want to be everything from a pilot to a professional football player to a musician and everything in between. I would count myself as among those who didn't really know what they wanted to do. My school system didn't really give me any career guidance. I knew I had some talents in different things, but I couldn't really pinpoint what I was truly passionate about.
Yeah.
And so I would have to say radio was never my dream. Media was never my dream. It's just that I found myself in it, so I decided to just give it my all.
Yeah.
So that's how I've ended up here.
So let's kick this off with one of your famous controversial opinions. So
Here we go.
You've been known to have some very controversial opinions. I follow you on X, and I see some of them, and some I agree with, some I don't. You know, that's what controversial opinions are. What's your hottest take right now?
Okay, so I don't want to use the word notorious, but let's just say I've sort of caught the attention of people in the realm of talking about gender relationships, you know, men versus women kind of thing. I've sort of inserted myself in that conversation in a big way.
Yeah.
And I even portray myself as being a boy child spokesperson. I mean, it's tongue in cheek. I'm half kidding, but really, I just like to speak on issues of relationships and at least my views on the dynamics of today and how it's affecting people's love lives. And I think, and you will agree, I think, there's so much confusion.
Yeah.
Men and women can't seem to get along. Relationships start today. There's a lot of promise. It ends tomorrow. People are confused. And so I saw an opportunity to add a voice to that conversation. And so that's what I've done. And
That's the building up to the actual
Right.
control.
So the opinions that have, I would say, in terms of what would be a hot take,
Yeah.
well, among them, because there would be a list of them, men and women can't be friends.
What?
I don't think so. I'm also anti-marriage.
Okay, anti-marriage, I get that. But men and women can't be friends? Why do you think so?
Well, because there's obviously sexual attraction, sexual dynamics. I mean, at this point, it's even a joke. I've seen all these skits on social media where, you know, a guy is talking to a girl, or at least, no, a guy's talking to his girlfriend, and then he says, wait, that guy wants to smash you. And she's like, no, he's just my friend. All right, let's call him up right now. You call him and tell him you're ready to hook up and see what he says.
Okay.
And then she makes the call.
Yeah.
And then we hear her asking the guy to come over for a quick one. And almost always, the guy agrees.
Okay. So I
Meaning,
wanna-
the guy
The guy-
always had an interest in escalating it to a romantic situation and was always just waiting for the opportunity.
Yeah, he's just like waiting, lingering around. So you don't have any female friends? Is that what I'm
I
hearing?
have lots of very good female acquaintances.
That you would easily cross the line with?
Well, that's the thing. I don't have female friends.
Yeah. You have
I
female acquaintances.
Like, I have women I'm cool with.
Okay.
You know, like, for example, right now, you and me, we're cool.
Yeah, we're cool.
We ain't friends, but we cool. If I met you on the side of the road, I'll say hi, ask you
Yeah.
about your family, and, you know, wish you a nice day, all smiles, and I'll keep it moving.
Yeah.
But if I was trying to spend more time around you, try to hang out with you, then chances are it would be because I had ulterior motives. And if you have friends like that, you better check them, because
Now the truth is, okay, I have guy friends,
yeah.
and for me, what I do is I put them in the brother zone, right? So I'll even call you bro, like big bro. What's up?
Yeah.
Hi, like cuz, you know, hi cuz, how are you doing?
Yeah.
So you know you're in the family zone, and eventually I feel like they start to treat me like their little sister or their cousin. So
Well, that's what you think.
that's what I think, and that's what I know. Let's move swiftly along. Do you ever feel misunderstood?
Always.
Yeah.
Always. So some people, you know, will try and call me a sexist or a misogynist or things like that, simply because I say certain truths that are accepted by everybody but are just impolite to say, right? And while at the same time, there's a lot of people that agree with me, even a lot of women, they'll mostly just pull me aside and say, it's how you say it.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Probably, yeah, the delivery.
The
pattern,
delivery is
yeah.
what gets people really riled up. But you're not wrong.
So, if there's one thing you wish people knew about you, what would that thing be?
Loving, caring, sensitive, and friendly.
Is the caring, sensitive person in the room with us today?
Absolutely. Can't
Are
you
you
tell?
sure? Will they be joining us on the podcast at some point?
At some point, for sure.
What's the best part about being you, Fatboy?
I'm a curious person and I'm adventurous. I have decided to set no limits to my scope of thinking. I am painfully open-minded and I am painfully hungry for debate and discussion.
Yeah.
I almost revel in the sort of gladiatorial confrontational style of debate. To where I go on social media and beg people, hey guys, is there someone who disagrees with me on something strongly? Please contact me. I want to have you on my show, because I like to just exercise my mind and just have a clash of ideas. It's a flaw and a feature at the same time.
You sound like someone who reads a lot. Don't ask me what that sound is, but you have the sound. Do
Do
you
I?
read a lot?
Well, you know, what does reading mean though in 2024?
I think reading means picking up a book or your Kindle and reading.
So I'm not a book reader.
Yeah?
I have to admit, I am not a book reader, but I'm an avid listener. So I listen to podcasts, watch documentaries, and if I do read, it's mostly articles and people's thoughts and opinions and shared perspectives, for which social media has been really useful as a platform for sharing that. Because here's my thing. If I read a book, I'm reading the author's perspective on an issue from start to finish without interruption. Whereas if I go to, say, social media and I'm hearing people discuss an issue, almost immediately in the comments there's someone offering a counterpoint or a disagreement, or sometimes demolishing the entire premise. So imagine reading a book from start to finish and it turns out the whole thing is just wrong.
But it will have given you like an interesting perspective, even if it's wrong or even if it's right, even if it's subjective, you'll get their perspective.
I think, and by the way, that's a very good point, and I think I need to learn that.
Yeah, I was leading up to this question: movie or book that has changed your perspective on life?
Well, believe it or not, the Bible.
Okay.
I'm not a religious person, but I do read religious scripture, and part of the reason why I am where I am today is because I read, interpreted, and understood the teachings of the Bible, contrasting that with the teachings of other religious scriptures.
Yeah.
And that kind of just, for me, has been quite impactful. It obviously led me down a different path, for sure. And some people might say, well, maybe you're just a believer in denial. Well, that may be true. We'll never know. But I'll count the Bible as one of the more influential books in my life.
That was very unexpected,
Right?
considering what I know about you.
Yeah, I'm an atheist.
Yeah.
But I read the Bible.
Very vocal as well about it.
True. I do speak on it.
Who is someone that you look up to?
Elon Musk.
Why? Okay. I mean, I'm shocked, but not too shocked. I want to hear your reasons why.
Okay, so obviously he's cool for all the right reasons. He's also very rich, that you know. He's also very smart.
Yeah.
He's very technologically savvy. And in one interview for me that really struck a chord with me was where in the early days when he was still trying to create his space exploration company, rocket company, SpaceX. And they asked him, so who's your lead rocket engineer? And he said, it's me. And then the interviewer said, but you didn't study this, so you didn't go to school, qualified in it. And he says, yeah, but what I do is I read up on it, and I go and I talk to people who are qualified in it, and I employ them, and I build these teams. But ultimately, he's sort of the one coordinating all of that. And that sort of inspired me, because I too sometimes feel like I have to learn different things in terms of different professional endeavors in order to be able to do what I do.
Yeah.
Because at RX Radio, where I'm also the CEO, I do that part, the administrative part, the financial part, the marketing part, and I'm also the main talent at the station. So sometimes, you have to understand a little bit about everything to be able to function well as an entrepreneur and to really thrive in this new content economy that exists today.
Okay. You know what's shocking is like every time I meet a CEO, the one constant is they're always like avid readers. So you're already changing the narrative.
Exactly. So maybe I need to work on that. I need to read more books.
Yeah. If you weren't in the media, what do you think you would have ended up doing?
I probably would have been operating a bar. It was my first job after I left university.
Yeah.
So, like I mentioned, I couldn't get a job easily. Everyone was telling me apply to URA. At the time, URA was hiring everybody with a BCom degree. I don't know how it is now. But as I sat there, this was just before I applied for the job at the radio. I was actually running a small video library stroke bar. So it was a video library in the morning, and in the evening it would be a bar. I kind of liked that. It was
very
fun.
Interesting concept.
Right?
Like while you wait for your movie to download, have a drink.
Well, at the time, there wasn't
no
downloading.
Yeah.
This was still the era of videotapes.
Yeah.
DVDs hadn't yet even become a big thing.
Yeah.
That's how old I am.
Yeah.
And that's how long ago
So
this
you
was.
imagine coming home drunk and telling someone, I was at the video library.
Exactly. So rent a tape or have a drink.
Yeah.
Nice. And it wasn't a conventional video library. it was actually the Uganda's first Nigerian movie film library.
Do
It
you like
was
Nigerian?
only Nigerian
Do you
movies.
like Nigerian movies?
What?
Do you like Nigerian movies?
Personally, no, but my father, yes. And he
Yeah.
was at Nigeria at the time. So in the mid 90s, when he was posted to work there, he was like in the foreign ministry. So he just fell in love with Nigerian movies and he said, hey, people would love this stuff in Uganda. So he just started shipping over all these
Yeah,
videotapes and he
yeah.
said, hey, James, hey, set up a shop and let's start renting out these videos. And well, we tried it. And at the time, the Niger movie wave hadn't yet caught on. This was before that.
Okay.
And so it really struggled. People thought it was weird. People would come in and say, what's this? What are you even talking about? Friends of mine were laughing. And eventually, I closed down the business because the demand for the videos wasn't really high. And then, lo and behold, 3-4 years later,
yeah, right?
there's a Nigerian movie boom in Uganda, and everyone's just obsessed with Nigerian movies. And, you know, an important lesson there. What if I had stuck it out a little bit longer? If I'd hang in there 2 years more, 3 years more, I could have become the king of the hill. I could have become the Nigerian movie king of Kampala.
That's true. Because there was a time there was, for a second there, I was like, Lord, will you deliver us from these Nigerian movies? It had gotten way too much. You know what I mean? Yeah. So if you won the lottery, what's the first thing you're doing?
Oh, well, if I won the lottery,
the
first thing I would do would be to go on a vacation. Because I've been thinking about going on a vacation.
My kind of people. Where would you go?
Japan.
Oh, okay.
Japan, the country of my birth. I'd love to go there for a vacation. To just go and spend a year there, not working, not doing anything. If I won the lottery, I'd do that.
Okay, that sounds like fun. Because me personally, I would also go on holiday, you know?
Where?
Some people, an island. I'm
You
obsessed.
look like Mombasa, Zanzibar.
Yeah, but now if I won the lottery, I'm thinking Bora Bora or the Maldives, you know, like, but somewhere with sun, that's for sure.
Ooh,
or the
fancy.
Caribbean.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right.
What's your happy place?
Like most people, my happy place is my bed. For sleeping,
Yeah.
to just sleep. I think once you're done with the hustle and the bustle of the day,
Yeah.
the bed can offer you some peace.
I like the disclaimer.
And then if you
okay
mix
if
in
you use it for other things.
hunger, stress, and poverty, that bed can be mighty appealing.
What's something you can't go a day without?
Whew. I don't know that I've gone a day without posting something on social media.
Yeah.
That's something that I do almost by necessity at this point. Because in the beginning, it was just sort of for fun to just... But now it's kind of like tied to everything business related. Like you can't operate a business today without having, you know, a strong connection to what you're doing on social media.
Yeah.
And the window of attention is so narrow now that if you are silent for too long, you know, be forgotten.
Absolutely.
You know, and it is something that a lot of my peers, I feel, have struggled with, we in the media. Because if you consider how long I've been doing this compared to my friends, my peers from the same generation, you know, do they still retain some cultural relevance in this new attention economy with a new crop of entertainers and influencers? I don't think so. So yeah, so I fight to keep myself relevant, and part of how I do that is to constantly engage on social media.
You know, I was one of those people, I'll have to admit, who was anti-social media for a while. But then I realized, like, who are you kidding? The world will leave you regardless of whether this is your thing or not. You know?
You have to be there, because even if you wanted to start a restaurant today, how are you going to promote that restaurant?
Exactly.
You got to put it on social media.
Yeah.
You know, if you opened a bar, if you opened a shop to sell shoes, you still have to rely on social media. And so to pretend that, oh, social media is for losers, oh, social media is just for time wasters, you're going to get left. You're going to get left behind, and, you know, it won't be a good situation.
Exactly. If you could go back in time and give your younger self a warning about what's to come, what would you tell your younger self?
Well, if I could talk to my younger self, I would say to him, please, whatever you do, never ever miss out on opportunities that come your way. I feel like there have been some opportunities that may have come my way, and I don't mean strictly professional opportunities, even just sort of life opportunities where I didn't take a chance, where I hesitated. I would say to my younger self to not hesitate next time and to just jump in. And
Yeah.
if it doesn't work out well, you can always try again.
Yeah. What's been the best day of your life so far?
The day my daughter was born,
Oh.
for me, that's the best day of my life.
Oh, that's sweet.
I'd have
How old
to
is your
say.
daughter?
She's now 1 year and 3 months.
This is breaking news. You have a daughter?
Yeah.
I did not know that. What else do we not know? Are you married?
A lot.
Are you married?
No, I'm not married.
Is that too personal of a question to ask?
No, it's fine.
No, okay. Are you okay? I feel like any other question is prying
Am I what?
too much. Are you in a
Am I-
relationship with
I
the
have
mother?
a woman, yes.
With the mother of the child. Okay, congratulations.
Thank you.
We're happy to hear. And how does she feel about some of your hot takes?
Well, you know, she understands that it's real.
Yeah.
Because like I said, the things I say aren't even, it's not like I'm pulling things out of thin air. Everyone can see what's going wrong.
Yeah.
Everyone can see how people are suffering in relationships and how people are suffering in marriages and so forth. So, you know, for me to voice a skepticism about such things, I don't think it's very unusual. And also, maybe people get too obsessed with labels, right? So as long as you are there and a woman is there and you're working together towards a common goal, it could be that you have a child together that you want to raise together. It can be that you like to spend time with each other, or it could be a more sexual thing or strictly that. Whatever it is, I think it's up to the people involved to decide what it is they want and to go for it,
Yeah.
and not get too hung up on what you're calling it.
Yeah.
Because what good does it do to call it a thing, to call it a marriage, let's say, and yet you're miserable? Because a lot of married people are miserable, right? Ultimately, people just, I think, need to strive to be happy. And regardless of what shape your association with another person takes, just enjoy what you have.
Yeah.
And don't get too caught up on
and happiness,
calling it a thing.
Exactly. And like you said, happiness is different for everybody. Everyone's goals are different. So I guess I get what you're saying. Yeah. So what invention, in your opinion, doesn't get enough credit? Like, it was a groundbreaking invention. It came, we're excited, but now we've moved on and we're not giving it the credit it deserves.
I might have to think about this one.
Yeah?
Yeah. Or maybe I'll pass this one.
You pass.
Yeah, I
Do you know what
can't-
mine is?
What?
Aeroplanes. I feel like aeroplanes
Aeroplanes
are
get
so
credit.
fascinating. Do they get credit? I feel
course
like we
they do.
need to sit down every day and take a moment to appreciate aeroplanes. How does this thing just fly?
Wait a
in the
minute.
air?
I mean, pilots are among the best paid professionals in the world.
Yeah.
Obviously, here we are talking about vacations. We will certainly be
Thinking
flying
about
to
the
our
plane.
destinations. What is it that you would want for people to appreciate about planes?
I think we need to have like a moment each day as the niche, as the collective, as the world, to acknowledge whoever made that thing and say thank you.
Okay.
What's your guilty pleasure?
My guilty pleasure would have to be video games. I am a video game fan. For a while, I was quite addicted. I would spend long hours playing video games, and mostly because I had a lot of time
Yeah.
back in the day, back when I was sort of employed at a radio station. You know, I tell this story a lot, and people just are always amused by it. My working day typically ended at 11 a.m. Typically, right? It would start early, yes, but by 11 I would be done, and I'd have the rest of the day to do with what I want.
Yeah.
And so I spent a lot of time just lounging, playing video games. Maybe that's why also I was very fat and obese, because I was just sitting around doing nothing.
Living your best life.
Yeah, now that I'm super busy,
Yeah.
maybe that's also why I'm more,
You're just Fatboy by name, not physically.
Yeah.
What's your favorite? Like, I'm gonna ask this question like as if I know these games. But what's your favorite video game?
Grand Theft Auto.
Okay.
My favorite version is 4. GTA 4 is my favorite.
Okay, at least I know that one.
Yeah?
Yay, me.
Nico Bellic.
What's your toxic trait?
I'm a bit too honest. And sometimes I'm not good at reading the room. And this has landed me in trouble a lot. Especially in my personal life.
Yeah.
And in my dealings with ladies. So I feel like now I do a better job of it, but before I kind of wouldn't easily gauge where a woman's mind was at or heart was at, and I'd sort of make a lot of assumptions. That obviously got me in a lot of trouble. And then I'm also quite introverted. That's also something that's maybe not so good, but can be good in some other ways.
Yeah.
I like to conserve my energy for myself, and this can sometimes cause people to think of me as stuck up and proud. Although I like to think that I'm not.
Okay. Have you ever been starstruck? You said you've been on radio for over 20 years. Mm-hmm. You've met a lot of celebrities. Have you ever been starstruck?
Yes, I have.
Who? By whom?
So I met an Indian singer called Hari Haran at an airport in Bhopal.
Okay.
Now, I'm sure this name doesn't register in most people's minds.
Yeah, I'll have to Google
But
that.
in the 90s, there was an Indian music group called Colonial Cousins that were really, really cool. So they were like two guys, and they would sing of Indian music, but with some modern pop elements and sensibilities infused in it. And their music was just so great. I was a huge fan. I'd watch their videos on Channel V, which was the music channel in India at the time. And they did an MTV Unplugged, which was amazing. Mm-hmm. I bought the CD. And so it so happened I went to the airport to escort a friend who was leaving the town of Bhopal. I get there and I see some guy standing just near the, at the departure lounge. And I'm at the terminal, and I'm looking at this guy, and I'm like, this guy looks familiar. And I walk up to him, and then I just decide to ask, excuse me, sir, I am really sorry to bother you. Are you Mr. Hari Haran? He said, yes. And I'm like, yo, I'm such a huge fan. So I obviously shook his hand. Those days, there were no smartphones. So
I was going to ask, did you take a picture?
No, this is like 97. So there were no... Okay. Yeah, I think cell phones were a thing, but there were no smartphones with cameras. And so I asked for an autograph. I didn't have anything except a receipt that I got from the shop. I just bought some tea. So he signed me an autograph at the back of that receipt.
You still have it?
I still have it to this day.
You do?
Yeah.
And where is this person now? Like, does he still make music?
You know what? It's been a while since I caught up on what he's up to.
Yeah.
Because a lot has happened since. But at the time, it was just... I was like, wow. So for me, that's been one of my greater celebrity encounters.
What's your secret talent?
My secret talent would be... Okay, so a lot of the talents I have are not so secret, but I would have to say among those that are secret is I feel like I can... I'm good at body language.
Okay.
I'm good at understanding body language. So by speaking to someone, I can easily tell what kind of vibe they're feeling from me.
And
especially...
What vibe am I giving off right now?
Well, you seem very friendly, but held back, cautious.
Okay. I'm a contradiction, eh?
Yeah. Like you're dealing with a strange creature, and so you're treading with caution.
Yeah.
Is that how you feel?
I mean, let's say 90%.
A little bit?
90% accurate. So well done. Yay. What's the worst advice you've ever gotten?
So my father told me. My father.
We're throwing daddy under the bus today.
He told me to take my time with marriage. So if you want to blame anyone.
It's his fault. Oh my God, look at what you've done. Is he watching? Is he going to watch this?
With marriage, take your time.
Is it? So you took it...
Of course, I'm a good boy who listens to his daddy.
You took it a notch higher.
Am I going to argue with my old man? Of course not.
Okay.
I do as he says.
Right. Let's go with that. Okay, Fatboy, thank you so much for coming through. Before I let you go, I'm going to ask you some quick fire questions. And for the most part, no context. You're just going to give us what
Boom,
comes to
boom.
mind. Night in or night out?
Night in.
Yacht or jet?
Jets.
Sweet or savory?
Savory.
Radio or TV?
Radio.
Boys' night or date night?
Boys' night.
DC or Marvel?
DC.
Meet your idol, who in this case is Elon Musk, is it?
Mm-hmm.
Or 10K US dollars?
10K US dollars.
What you do want to meet Elon?
What would I gain by meeting Elon?
I don't know. Secrets.
Because all he would do is just say
Say
hi to
hi.
me, shake my hand, tell me he has to go somewhere, and then he'll be off.
Yeah,
And yet, the 10K could do something for me.
that's true. And you know they say never meet your idols. There's a reason they say that.
Yeah.
Me personally, every time I've met someone I looked up to,
Yeah.
I was
They-
underwhelmed, you know?
What, they disappoint you?
I don't know if it's because you idolize them in your mind, and then when you finally meet them, you humanize them, and then you just kind of feel underwhelmed. I don't know.
So how do you feel right now? Because I think earlier you did mention that you saw me as a legend. So now that you've met me,
No, you're living up to the expectations. Don't worry.
say the truth now.
You said you can read minds and body language.
Uh-huh.
Aren't I saying the truth?
Sounds like you are.
I think I'm saying the truth. Okay, be young again or $10,000.
$10,000.
All expenses paid trip or $10,000.
$10,000.
$10,000 for the win. Thank you so much for coming through today,
Thank
Fatboy.
you. Thank you. It's been so much fun.
Yeah. And guys, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so that you can be notified every time I put up a video. Catch you next time.